Valley Club, beware of these resource trap characters in Marvel Strike Force. Now, every single one of these characters I'm going to discuss do have value, and you do need to build them to a certain extent, but because they have value, you might be tempted to over-invest your resources into them, but luckily for you, you clicked on this video, so I'm going to help you steer you away from these pitfall characters, so you're ready to see who are the biggest traps for Marvel Strike Force for February of 2025. Then you know what to do, Valley Club. Find that like button, and let's go smash it. And welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin. I hope you're having an excellent day, and I hope you're ready to see the biggest trap characters in Marvel Strike Force. Now, these aren't trash characters. Every single one of these characters do have value. You do need to build every single one of these characters to a certain extent, but you don't want to over-invest in them. They are resource traps. And if you get some value from this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for even more Marvel Strike Force content, and ring that notification bell so you know as soon as a brand new one goes up. We have at least 5 Marvel Strike Force videos every single week on this channel. Let's jump into my account to start this list. The first character that I wanted to discuss, and these are in no particular order, is Moon Knight. Now, you do need to build them for the Night Stalkers in the raids. The Night Stalkers as a 5-piece is kind of required for that Orcus section of the raids. Don't really see too many people replacing Moon Knight in the raids for the Night Stalkers, but after you are done with the raids, after you're done building the Night Stalkers, you can reliably sim the raids, whatever your alliance is doing. Well, you could stop investigating Moon Knight because a lot of his value is for the raids. The Night Stalkers are very good in Cosmic Crucible, very good in War, but a lot of times you see Blade, Oath, Man-Thing, and Agatha on the team. Sometimes you see Moon Knight, sometimes you don't. A lot of times he is the first one that's gonna be replaced by a variety of different characters depending on who you're fighting. Sometimes Kestrel works better depending who you're seeing on defense in Cosmic Crucible, but Moon Knight, I think you could hold off your investment in this character once you're done with the raids. If you need some resources for other characters that you need to build, Moon Knight, like I said, is the first character that you're probably going to replace when you're using a Night Stalkers in Cosmic Crucible and War. So it's probably the first one that you could stop investing in once you're done with the Night Stalkers. And the next team I want to discuss is the Spider Society. And as you can see, I've pretty much maxed these characters out before the level cap increase. The only character that I'm still building since the level cap increase is Spider-Man Pav. Now, they do have value. Like I said, every single one of these characters on this list do have value, and you do need to build a Spider Society to some extent. Kind of like the Night Stalkers, they're a raid team, so you need to build them until you can beat the Orcus raids reliably for whatever level you and your alliance are doing. After that, you may want to invest them for Dark Dimension 7, Dark Dimension 8. They're very good in the city section, but continue to build them after Dark Dimension, after you're done for the raids. They don't have as much value in Cosmic Crucible. They don't have as much value in Wars. So pretty much once you're done with the raids, once you're done with the Dark Dimensions, you can stop investing in these characters. I still continue to build Pav because Pav and his damage does have a lot of value in hybrid teams, especially paired with Annihilators or a few other teams in Cosmic Crucible. But Peter B, Penny, you're usually using them on a full Spider Society, and the full Spider Society, like I said, it just isn't as good as it once was. Spider-Man Noir does get slotted onto a few other hybrid teams in Cosmic Crucible, and if you have a good use for Spider Noir, maybe you continue to build Spider Noir. But if it's just a full Spider Society team, they're not as strong in Cosmic Crucible and War, and you may want to stop building them at this point. Now, the other reason that people may want to build them is because all of them have double tags. As you see, Spider-Man Pav does have a bio and skill tag. Peter B has a bio and skill tag as well. Penny has a skill and tech tag. So all of these characters have double tags. And for the race to 105 milestones, which currently are going on, you may want to build them so as to save some resources. Now, if your number one priority is to get to these race to 105 milestones, getting as far as these milestones as you can, with as cheap as possible, with as little gold and training mats used as possible, well, the Spider Society, Doom, Kestrel, they may be characters that you want to build up because of their double tags. But if you're just looking at their long-term investment as far as a full Spider Society team, probably not a good investment in that case, because once you're done with the raid, they're losing a lot of value in Crucible, losing a lot of value in War as well, and you're not going to get that big return on your investment as you once did for the Spider Society. Well, let's move on to discuss the Immortal X-Men, the latest Cosmic Crucible team. Now, I'm not talking about Jean Grey, Storm, and Beast, because these are not just Immortal X-Men. These are members of the Uncanny Avengers as well, and you need the Uncanny Avengers for the Spotlight 2 raid. So you do need to build Jean, you do need to build Storm, you do need to build Beast. How big you build them is really determined on how big you want them for the raids, but these three characters are going to have value in Cosmic Crucible as well. Most of the power from this Cosmic Crucible team does come from Jean Grey, Storm, and Beast, so you do want to build these characters. And as you could probably notice in this past season of Cosmic Crucible with these brand new rules, this is a very good Cosmic Crucible team, but is not capable of taking out every single team, especially with the room rules here that limit some of their specials and their ultimates, what they could do with this. So very, very good Cosmic Crucible team. But I am talking about Polaris and Cable, where you may not want to invest your resources. Now, Polaris, you may want to invest into her to a certain extent. You want her focus big enough so she can pull the enemies together in Cosmic Crucible. Outside of that, that's pretty much all you need her to do, because the rest of the power comes from Storm. And Cable is good as well. A lot of his moves do reduce the turn meter of the enemies, but that doesn't necessarily need a lot of focus. So you don't need a lot of investment into Cable. And as of me recording this video right now, there is an event going on where you're getting some points for using Immortal X-Men at certain gear tiers in Cosmic Crucible. But if we even look at the highest gear tier for this Immortal X-Men Crucible, gear tier 19, 1,000 points each. If you have Jean, Beast, and Storm built up, you will get those over the course of 2 Cosmic Crucible battles, assuming that you use all 3 of those characters in both of those battles. So even for those milestones, no real reason to build them up all the way to gear tier 19. The only reasons you may want to build up Cable and Polaris to a certain extent is for some efficiency bonuses in Cosmic Crucible to make sure they don't die. But if you're just looking for wins, and let's say that Storm is built up big enough and the other enemies don't even get a turn, well, they're not going to die. So depending on the matchup, you may not even need to build them for the efficiency bonus, because Storm is going to just kill everybody really, really fast. And kind of like the Immortal X-Men and Cosmic Crucible, the other side of the Uncanny Avengers for War are the Mighty Avengers. So we're not talking about Hercules and Falcon, because you do need to build them for the Uncanny Avengers. What we're talking about here is Scarlet Witch, Invisible Woman, and Vision. Now, this team is a pretty good war team. I would say they're inside the top 10 war teams for attacking. They may even be inside the top 5, but they're not like a no-brainer team that you just throw at every team in war and they're going to beat it. This is a team that you need to go against certain matchups. And for that, I would say the value of Scarlet Witch, Invisible Woman, and Vision is not that high. They're going to be great in war, but as you've probably seen this past couple weeks of this new season in Cosmic Crucible, the Mighty Avengers do not hold at all in Cosmic Crucible on defense. So there's really no reason to build them outside of war. If you're into war, you may want to build these characters for what they do in war, but outside of war, really not a lot of value for Scarlet Witch, Invisible Woman, and Vision. I know some people were placing some tricky defenses on defense in Cosmic Crucible based on the summoning of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver and Morgan Le Fay and some other synergy they have there, but even that is not really holding right now. So there is value for Hercules, there is value for Falcon, but as far as Scarlet Witch, Invisible Woman, and Vision, just for war. So if you're not a hardcore war player, very little value in building up those 3 characters. Kind of like the Mighty Avengers, if you're not hardcore into war, there's not a huge value to build up this Undying team. Now, Zombie Juggernaut, I'm going to hold him off of this conversation because he is a Proton tank, so there's also going to be value for Proton tanks. Zombie Juggernaut is going to slot into a bunch of hybrid teams because of that. So I'm not talking about Zombie Juggernaut, but I'm talking about Hela, Zombie Iron Man, and Zombie Scarlet Witch. Now, Zombie Scarlet Witch, you can't really farm her right now. There's not really a way you could build more red stars for her or more gold stars. But as far as the resources you put into her, realize it is just going to be for war. And at this point, I'm probably not going to be taking up the level 105. Maybe down the road, if there's some changes to the rewards of war or to the overall structure of war, I may want to build up these characters. But for myself as a player that's not really into war, my alliance is very war casual. There's very little value for me to continue to build Hela, Zombie Iron Man, and Zombie Scarlet Witch. Zombie Juggernaut, like I said, is a little different use case, but if you're not into war, there's very little value to build these characters because they didn't really hold on defense in Cosmic Crucible. They're not really a strong offensive team in Cosmic Crucible. And those are the only 2 game modes that they might have value in, outside of some particular flash events like a pocket dimension or a tower or something like that. All right, the next character that is a big resource trap is the OG Iron Man. You do need to build them a little bit if you don't have Captain Britain, but once you unlock Captain Britain, that is a character that's going to slot into the Illuminati for you. You're going to take Iron Man out, and then he's kind of going to be a homeless character. Even for me, my Mr. Fantastic Black Bolt gets slotted out a lot. So no real reason to build the OG Iron Man, especially if you're going after Captain Britain. I do see a lot of hybrid teams with Hank Pym, Black Panther shirt, and Captain Britain along them. Now, the only reason I would say that you might want to build Iron Man even when you have Captain Britain unlocked, if you want to run this Illuminati on defense in Cosmic Crucible, probably not going to want to run this this top row non-Captain Britain Illuminati on defense in War, but you may want to run them in Cosmic Crucible, maybe not this season, but maybe in future seasons, and then take Captain Britain off and let his passive do its work. It stops a lot of speed that enemies can get, so you may want to slot him onto an offense team, put the Illuminati on defense, but as of me recording this, as of this season, you're probably not going to do that. You're probably placing these characters on defense. If you have Odin, probably with Odin. If you don't have Odin, you're going with the full Illuminati. And if you have Captain Britain, Iron Man is off the team. So not a lot of reason to build Iron Man, especially if they have Captain Britain. Next big resource trap in Marvel Strike Force is Echo. Now, she's an important part of a lot of counters in Cosmic Crucible, but the reason she is on a lot of counters in Cosmic Crucible is because of what it says in our passive. When this character does not have blind, reduce the assist chance for enemies by 100%. On blind, then she's gonna gain slow, but reducing the assist chance stops a lot of counters. Now, one of the big things that Odin does is assists, and if he gets that going, well, he could get his passive going a lot sooner, his battlefield effects, excuse me, going a lot sooner. So having someone like Echo stop that is an important counter to that Echo counter. Any other counters, any other characters that can assist, Echo is gonna be a part of that team, but it's because of her passive. It's not because of what she does in her kit. It's not because of the damage she does. The rest of her kit is pretty trash, actually. So you're just building her there. The only reason you might want to build her at this point is for some potential efficiency in Cosmic Crucible. If she dies, that could reduce your efficiency score. That will reduce your efficiency score. That may make a difference between winning and losing. So you may want to build her up based on what you're seeing for your opponents, just so that she doesn't die, that you lose that efficiency. But she's an older character. She doesn't have that updated stats. So even if you build her, she may die anyway. So Echo, she's an important character, but you don't need to put a lot of resources until you realize that importance. And it pains me to say this because the Eternals have been so good for so long, but ever since Ares got his updated stats and all characters going forward were having those updated stats, Eternals with the old stats really aren't hanging out. Yes, they still are a fun counter to Bifrost. If you see a Bifrost team in War, they're gonna smash that team, but outside of that, I don't really use them too much. You can still pair them with the Secret Defenders to counter a few teams in Cosmic Crucible, particularly the Spider Society, but Tangled Web works a little better, a little more reliably, so I would use this Tangled Web over the Eternals right now for Cosmic Crucible, but yeah, I think the time of the Eternals is gone. They're such a good pairing, though, that they may still have some use later on. But as of right now, I don't see this team having a lot of use in the game. So you may want to divert your resources to other characters that are going to give you more value right now. And that is the list. But there are still some characters that we mentioned the last time we did this list many, many months ago that still don't want to invest in. They're probably not as obvious at this point because they probably don't have the value that they once did. But Silver Surfer, just don't invest in that character at this point. Cyclops, once you're done with the raids, you probably don't want to invest in him anymore. Old Man Logan does replace him in the raid, so you probably don't even need to invest in Cyclops if you haven't at this point. The Hive Mind Toons, they are needed for the Orcus raids, but they are going to be replaced when the next raid comes around. So watch how much you're investing in that team, and Quicksilver as well. He did have some value with the Summon Scarlet Witch and the reworks of Scarlet Witch and Vision and Iron Invisible Woman, like we said, but don't invest in him too much. That is not a strong team in Cosmic Crucible defense. Hopefully you got some value from this video, and if you did, leave it a like. And if you want to see what are the hidden gems of Marvel Strike Force, kind of the opposite of this video, make sure you check out the video up there, and I'll see you guys next time. Hulk fist bump though, ValleyFlyin out.